Hello everyone, welcome back to another video on the Tauntonville Middle School channel. So I figured I'd talk about Jack Doherty being released from prison. So Jack Doherty was released from jail, and he faces a maximum 7-year prison term after his arrest in Miami. So let's read the article on Yahoo.com by Reality T. YouTuber Jack Doherty faces maximum 7-year prison term after Miami arrest. Popular YouTuber and content creator Jack Doherty was recently arrested in Miami, Florida, and charged with possession of D and resisting. Now reports suggest that Doherty could face up to 7 years of prison time due to his multiple charges. Before his arrest, Doherty was streaming on Party and posted footage of a yacht. Jack Doherty might get 7 years in jail. YouTuber Jack Doherty was arrested and charged with the following counts: via complex, possession of a controlled substance, possession of 20 grams of less of M, resisting arrest without violence. The first charges are considered a third-degree felony, while the other two are recognized as first-degree misdemeanors. Here are the penalties for each charge as per Florida state law. Third-degree felony, up to 5 years in prison and a $5,000 fine. First-degree demeanor, up to 1 year in jail and a $1,000 fine. Accordingly, if Doherty is convicted on all charges, he could face up to 7 years of prison time. Doherty was released from jail after 24 hours after posting a $3,500 bond. He has since posted several videos on TikTok highlighting his arrest and its aftermath. In some of these videos, he was seen wearing a t-shirt that had a picture of his mugshot. In a recent interview with TMZ, Doherty called the day of his arrest the worst day of his life. He spoke unfavorably of the experience, revealing he was stuck with a cop in a small cell for 5 hours before having his mugshot and fingerprints taken. He then said he was taken to a big holding room where he spent 10 hours but couldn't make calls. Doherty continued saying he was thrown into another cell and was jolted awake from a nap by guards who he claimed were friendly. He stressed that he planned to avoid jail time in the future, but clarified that it didn't mean getting treatment for substance, that abuse. Doherty's arrest was his first brush with the law. Last year, after crashing his $200,000 K McLaren while driving on a rainy highway, a police officer came to his house with a ticket citing wireless communication while driving. So yeah, that's something I forgot to mention during my last video. Like, I mentioned that Jack Doherty got into trouble numerous times, but I didn't mention the fact that last year, he crashed his McLaren. Last year, he crashed his McLaren while driving at a high speed in Miami on that highway, and his friend got injured. His McLaren got destroyed. His friend got injured badly in the accident, and Jack Doherty didn't seem to care one bit about his friend getting injured. He didn't seem to have a shred of empathy for that. Instead, worrying about his car, his McLaren, and worrying about his views on his video, he showed very little empathy for his friend. Now, if I was that friend, that so-called friendship would be over right then and there. Jack Doherty only cares about himself and the money and the views he gets. And he thinks that just because he's rich, he can do whatever he wants. Which really is irritating, to say the least, honestly. Let me see. More Jack Doherty stuff. Let me look it up. Doherty. Okay, let me see. So how much jail time is Jack Doherty facing after Florida arrest? Charges explained. YouTuber and streamer Jack Doherty has been arrested in Miami Beach, and the charges against him could have up to several years behind bars if he's convicted. YouTuber and streamer Jack Doherty has been arrested in Miami Beach, and the charges against him could add up to several years behind bars if he's convicted. The 22-year-old creator, who boasts more than 15 million YouTube subscribers and over 13 million followers across TikTok and Instagram, was taken to custody on November 15th. Hours earlier, he had been live streaming from a yacht in Miami while using the platform Party. Jack Doherty arrested in Miami Beach. According to Miami Beach police, officers detained Doherty outside a smoke shop and booked him into Turner Guilford Night Correctional Center shortly before 9 a.m. local time. Police say the streamer walked into the middle of Washington Avenue to film content, blocking traffic and creating what they described as a dangerous situation for both drivers and himself. Despite reportedly being instructed multiple times to clear the road, Doherty refused the officer's orders, responding, "Once I'm done with this bet." Once he was arrested, officers searched his pockets and found blank and blank. He was charged with possession of a controlled substance, possession of blank under 20 grams, resisting arrest without violence. Police say they recovered blank from Doherty. While blank is commonly prescribed for ADHD and narcolepsy, it's still classified as a controlled substance in Florida without a valid prescription. Officers also reported finding less than 20 grams of marijuana. After bonding out a reported $3,500 bail, Doherty quickly leaned into the moment, posting content and even wearing a shirt featuring his own mugshot. So he's apparently boasting about the fact he was in jail. Obviously, he seems to be enjoying the fact he was in jail and seems to be using it as a flex. Like he thinks he's such a big shot all because he was in a jail cell for 1 day. And even then, he was able to get out easily because of his money and because of the fact that he's so rich. How much jail time could Jack Doherty face? Here's how Florida law breaks down the penalties. Possession of a controlled substance, a third-degree felony. Up to 5 years in prison. Up to a $1,000 fine. Possession of marijuana under 20 grams, misdemeanor. Up to 1 year in jail. Up to $1,000 fine. Resisting officer without violence, first-degree misdemeanor. Up to 1 year in jail. Up to 1 year probation. Up to $1,000 fine. If Doherty was convicted on all counts to receive the maximum penalties, he could face up to 7 years in jail. A history of controversies. Doherty's no stranger to legal issues. In 2024, he wrecked his $200,000 McLaren 520s while live streaming the rain, leading to a ban from Kick. The incident earned him a ticket for using his phone behind the wheel, and even got spoofed in a Saturday Night Live sketch. He also made headlines after his then-girlfriend McKinley Richardson called the police on him during a domestic incident. Later, after being unbanned from Kick, he lost his account again when he and a security guard chased on a stream sniper who slapped him and started a street brawl. Police pressure on influencers keeps rising. Doherty's arrest comes as U.S. authorities have been ramping up enforcement against viral creators. Earlier this year, TikTok prankster Heston James faced felony charges in Arizona after a months-long streak of disruptive stunts, potentially putting him on the hook for 9 years in prison. In another recent case, a New York DoorDash driver who went viral for filming a customer lying exposed on his couch was arrested and charged with a felony in early November. Whether Doherty ultimately serves jail time will depend on how the case progresses, but the potential penalties are significant, and the scrutiny on high-profile creators isn't slowing down. So yeah, Jack clearly is now learning his lesson. He keeps doing the same nonsense over and over again. He keeps getting into trouble over and over again. Even after getting arrested, you would think it would be a wake-up call to him to change his behavior, but we know that wasn't going to happen. You would think after getting arrested, it would be a wake-up call for Jack to change his behavior and stop being so, ignorant and stop doing the same nonsense. But you know that wasn't going to happen because Jack Doherty just won't change his ways. Let me see. Jack Doherty released from jail. I'll read one more article. Social media influencer Jack Doherty bonds out of jail, faces D charges after Miami Beach arrest. Miami Beach, Florida. A social media influencer walked out of jail on Saturday night, hours after getting into some trouble with the law in Miami Beach. 22-year-old Jack Doherty smiled for the cameras as he walked out of Turner Guilford Night Correctional Center. He told 7 News that he regrets how his night leaving a club in South Beach unfolded. Stay out of jail. It was the worst experience of my life, he said. According to Miami Beach police, the influencer was blocking traffic as he recorded content for his channel early Saturday morning on the central block of Washington Avenue. Body camera footage shows Doherty standing on the street with multiple people and a phone in his hand. Officers are heard telling the group to move out of the street. Go to the sidewalk now, said an officer. Police say officers saw the group go into the road and that Doherty separated himself and went into the middle of the roadway, obstructing traffic and creating a safety hazard. Despite being given multiple commands and warnings of arrest if he didn't comply, detectives say Doherty refused and even told the officer once he's done with his bet. Video showed officers handcuffing Doherty. Detectives say when they conducted a body search, they found half an orange pill marked 3 that officers say is consistent with the Schedule 2 blank. They also found a black container with suspected 3 hand-rolled blank cigarettes. The social media influencer who has 15 million subscribers on YouTube and combined 13 million on TikTok and Instagram was hauled away in a police cruiser. A video from his channel shows him crashing on the turnpike last year. Other videos show him on a yacht and live streaming hours before he's arrested. Once he bonded out, he sang a different tune. For sure, I would have definitely done it differently, he said. Miami Beach Commissioner Joe Magazine weighed in on the influencer's arrest. We don't have room for that type of nonsense, and we're not going to tolerate it, he said. This punk, it's called for what it is. He's a rational antagonizer. He goes online trying to antagonize people. That's not going to work in Miami Beach. Doherty faces several charges, including possession of a controlled substance, possession of 20 grams or less of M, and resisting an officer without violence. He says he's learned his lesson. No traffic. It was 3 in the morning. I think they just wanted to block me up. Well, fair enough. I learned my lesson, he said. But seconds after leaving jail, he was right back doing what he does best, live streaming. I'm a free man, baby. Let's go, he said to the camera. Miami Beach police officials said they remain committed to maintaining public safety and order throughout the city, regardless of Doherty's status. Doherty's out currently on a $3,500 bond. So, yeah. Jack Doherty is not changing his ways, and you would think after that happened to him he'd learn his lesson, but I guess not. But, yeah. Those are just my thoughts about Jack Doherty being released from jail. Take everybody. Hopefully they'll finally throw the book at him and finally teach him a lesson here. Well, you never know. That's another video from the Tollwood Middle School channel. Take everybody.